My name is Jon Sutherland. I was a teammate of Mark Covert's in 1968 through 1970 at LA Valley College. I went to college as a baseball pitcher and came out as a miler because I had a coach named Laszlo Tabori and a teammate named Mark Covert. And since then I've been a lifelong runner. I'm at over 190,000 miles, run every day for 44 years. Won a few races, had a lot of fun. You forget about being a streak runner until somebody else brings it up. You don't wake up and say, oh, I'm going to run in my X amount streak day or whatever it is. I don't care anymore. But you just run because you have fun. But people will stop you in the market. You're the guy that runs every day. Is that guy Covert still ahead of you? Yeah. My streak will always be measured against Mark's. I feel like the guy that just kept on going and kept on going. We were at a reunion a couple weeks ago. Mark and I were having dinner together. And guys were coming over. Congratulations on your 45 years, Mark. Way to go. How do you think Sutherland's going to do? Oh, Sutherland's going to last 50 years. But first of all, runners never call each other by their first names. You're a Sutherland or you're a Covert or a Wagonback or a Babaraki or a Tubb or a Schmink. They never call each other by their first names. There's lots of Marks, there's lots of Steves, there's one Covert.
I've had this great friend for 45 years, and we have to go our separate ways. I've got to move on here a little different direction. Doesn't mean we won't ever meet again. I'll still go for a run once in a while and get to visit this great friend of mine that we have great memories with. But, it's time to move on.
Yeah.
Mark sent out this big kind of blanket email. It read like a press release that he was going to end his streak on his 45th anniversary, which is today. And I feel like somebody punched me in the stomach or like a friend died. I was shocked. My first response was shock.
My wife, she'd never tell me not to do this. She's ready for it to end at this point, but she or my kids have never known me not to do this. So I'm sure that this is going to be a pretty shocking thing for me on Wednesday, not to put my shoes on in the morning and head out the door. But it's just going to be just as shocking for them, because this is, we are all something to everybody. And part of what I am to them is a runner, and I'll still be a runner, but I won't have run that day, and so it's going to be a different thing for us on Wednesday.
A lot of people don't have something to get up for every morning, but he does, beyond his kids and his family, but running.
How do you think he's going to cope?
Hopefully not as good as me, because I just cry.
Tomorrow will be the last day of the streak. I'm going to run tomorrow, and then on Wednesday I will not run. I have some problems with my one foot. My right foot has total midfoot collapse. I know a lot of people think that I'm in great pain and all this, and I'm not in any pain. My foot doesn't hurt, but my foot no longer functions. All I can do is kind of drag it along because I don't have the ability to push off the ground with it anymore. So when it hits the ground, I have to pick it up, and it's hard to pick it up, so it just kind of drags along.
In an article in Byte back in 1980, I said to the reporter, I said, hey, if you've ever seen Mark's feet, you bet on me. Because his feet were a mess 20, 30 years ago. I don't see how I kept running on them.
Those guys who've known me from the very beginning have known what my feet were like way back when I was in high school. I mean, they were horrible back then. Everybody used to laugh about it and stuff like that. And I kind of still do too. To think that I've been fortunate enough to go this long on these feet with the problems that they've presented me and stuff, I've just been really fortunate, so I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change a thing. Thank you very much.
Grab a picture.
Lens cap.
I have the lens cap on.
Some of my worst memories in my
I know.
world.
You love them, but you want to kill them.
3 30. Doggy dog. Quick pace.
We got to get the run going. All right, here we go. Last run here, everybody.
You look at your watch, Laszlo will take it away.
A lot of the streak has to do with my dad and my mom both. I came home from school one time with the flu when I was at Cal State Fullerton, so the streak was only 4 years old or something like that. And I was really, really sick. You know, and he came home, and I run in the morning 99% of the time. And he came home from work, and I hadn't run yet. And he says, well, I'll drive you over to the park, and you can jog around a little bit. And I said, I don't know. He said, get dressed, I'll drive you over. So he drove me over to Griffith Park. It's 5 miles from my house. And he said, see you at home, and drove away. You know, and I jogged home, and the streak was alive that day. And he said, look, if you have something to do, he says, you have races to train for. He says, just because you have the flu, don't sit in the house. He says, if you're going to be any good, you got to get outside and do it. So I went out and, you know, I didn't whine about the flu anymore. And probably the last time I whined about anything.
The scariest moment of the streak of my entire life was about a year ago. My dad got a kidney stone, and he was in the hospital for a few days, and I took off work and I just went and I sat with him, and he got permission from the doctor to shuffle. So I held the IV bag, and my dad put on his slipper socks, and I held the IV bag and we ran around the abandoned part of the hospital.
We showed up on Christmas Eve, and he was black and blue. And we were like, what's wrong? Like, what happened? And he just brushed off. Oh, I just fell.
Yeah. But then we showed the GoPro video.
And they showed us a GoPro video of it, and it was like this severe, awful fall. But that's just how he is. Nothing is a big deal. He falls down
and he trips, and you hear him go, oh shit, this is it. It's over.
But he kept going.
Yeah.
You know, I had people thinking that I was absolutely crazed. I had people convinced right after I left high school that I lived in a cave. It's been talked that, you know, I mean, there's some obsessive compulsive stuff here. You know, I'll find that out on Wednesday, you know, whether that's true or not.
A lot of people think we're all crazy. I really don't think that's it. I think it's more like we just enjoy what we're doing, and we're just pretty dedicated to it. And after a while, you don't race anymore, but you still like to run and you have fun, and you got all these friends. I mean, look who showed up today. I mean, guys I haven't seen in 35 or 40 years.
Hey, you know, this jersey looked a lot better on him 40 years ago. We're all much more than what the streak is. You know, the streak is a part of what we are, and but it's not who we are. If you can kind of come to grips with that, it makes things a little bit easier every day. You know, because you know, your self-worth can't be wrapped up around an 8-mile run, or a 3-mile run, or a 1-mile run. You know, our lives are all so much more important, not just to ourselves, but to the people that know us, than another run.
First of all, obviously, thank you for everybody who's come out here today. You know, for all you guys, high school kids that come out here today and don't know me, you'll have to trust when I say, you know, I used to run faster than that. The years of obviously a glacial slowdown has happened here, and it's finally, the glacier's melted.
Tip 1. Coach Covert has been inspiring people from all over the world to just do
I'm going to go for 50, I really am. I've never said that to anybody before, but I'm going to try it. You know, I don't know if I'll live that long. I don't know if there's anything I don't know about coming along, but you know, like James Hetfield Metallica says, I don't see any stop signs. Why are we supposed to stop? I don't see any stop signs.